So you're thinking about moving to Sammamish.
Or Redmond.
Well, stick around because in this video, we're going to compare and contrast both of those cities to let you know what it's like if you're trying to choose between Sammamish or Redmond.
And we know a little thing about them because we were born and raised in Sammamish. Not born, but raised. So stick around.
We're going to get after it right now.
Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in King County, Washington, or places like Sammamish and Redmond, like we're talking about today, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to be notified of a new video of Redmond, Sammamish, or one of our other favorite cities here in the area. I'm Brad Decatur, Derek Decatur, Decatur Home Team. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day who are looking to make their move to King County. So whether you're 1 day or 1 year away, we'd love to help you make a smooth move. All the contact info is below, so feel free to reach out with a DM, text, call, or a Zoom call. We would love to help you out. So,
yes, sir.
Again, we are Sammamish grown, I suppose. That's where we went to school.
Sure, yeah, Issaquah, Sammamish.
For me, 5 years old till I left home.
Yep.
So we know it pretty well. Redmond, of course, is just going to be north of that, and you know they're connected right there on the 202 highway. So I guess...
Well, and they basically split the plateau in half, too. So not in half.
Well, Redmond doesn't start until down. I mean, Sammamish at the, like, Sahali is Sammamish addresses.
I think of that as all still Redmond.
No,
it's just crazy. Okay.
Fair enough. It doesn't split the plateau, but it does split. There's a school district change in there. But what's the first thing that you think of with the difference between the two? Yeah.
Whew. For me, it's still the location. When I think of Redmond, I think of being kind of set back a little bit in terms of jumping into the city, into town, into Bellevue, into Seattle. You're tucked back a little bit more. So for me, I think that Sammamish wins on location.
Interesting.
For me.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
you have downtown North Bend or downtown Redmond, which is.
I feel like Redmond's closer to Bellevue.
God, maybe it's just because of location. Yeah, you just feel like you're farther away.
And it's touching Kirkland, that area. But it depends if you're going I-90 or what part of Bellevue or Seattle you're going into. But okay, interesting. Okay, well, so on these videos, we'd like to touch on a few different topics, like one of them being price, location, one of them. So we have a split decision on location. And then, like attractions, things to do. So like dining in restaurants and also shopping, things like that. So let's hit on shopping, entertainment.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Redmond for the win. Yeah.
Redmond's the win.
There's not much. There's none of it.
Yep.
There is, but there isn't in Sammamish.
There's just restaurants in Sammamish, pretty much. I mean, for the most part. So it's
it's
As a neighborhood town.
You're coming out of Sammamish if you're going to be going out on the town for sure.
Right. But Redmond, Redmond's a pretty big. It's significantly bigger than Sammamish for starters, but it's got the full downtown. So it's got like your townhome condos and an actual downtown look. Not like Seattle, but it's a downtown. And then they have the Redmond Town Center, so a full shopping mall. Actually a really cool one. Bellevue Square I think is still better in general and much bigger, but Redmond Town Center's got a little bit more character. It's kind of one of those outdoor type malls, so you can have an open sky in the main area. Very cool. Not so cool in our area for about half the year, but really great for about the other half.
True. Yeah, no, Redmond Town Center is awesome. It's also got, you're right there by Marymore too.
Marymore Park
is pretty cool.
Super cool thing to do. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, more nature. I mean, there's a few lakes in Sammamish and stuff too, and parks and trails, so it's good there. But yeah, Marymore Park is
huge,
like 200 and some acres, massive.
Baseball field, soccer field, dog parks. They do the concerts there. I mean, so that's another cool thing in terms of downtown. It is downtown, but okay, pricing. What do you got on pricing?
Well, so they're both very expensive. I would say they're pretty similar. I would say the difference is that they have a lot of different types of products. So the average price might be similar, or at least if you took the same house, like if you had a house in Redmond, like above downtown, like Education Hill, standard house, let's call it 4 beds, 3 baths, 2,500 square feet, and have the same thing in Sammamish, somewhere in the main Sammamish area, they're going to be, I think, fairly similar in price. The difference, I think, comes in the type of homes. There's going to be a lot more condos and townhomes in Redmond downtown. And then Redmond also has a lot more farmland. Redmond's a lot bigger than you think. It goes way over here from the downtown into actual, literally, acreage properties, farm towns, which Sammamish doesn't have as much of.
Yeah, if you're coming from the Issaquah, or if you're coming from the North Bend area, that's all far. Not all.
Like,
but
what's that lake called? Ames Lake. Yeah.
There you go.
Around that whole area, there's a lot more different types of houses.
Yep.
But yeah, it's similar.
It's very comparable for sure. You're not going to get the same. I mean, if we're only looking at pricing, like you said, with comparable homes, it's similar in price points. You're not going to get the same options in Sammamish in the outskirts as you would on the outskirts of Redmond. So like there's kind of a line in the sand there in terms of pricing and what you're getting for the homes as well.
So as far as just average price point or median price point between the two cities, Sammamish on average is going to be definitely a good chunk higher than Redmond. But I think the main reason for that is also that there is so much more lower priced homes in Redmond. So in Sammamish, you really don't buy anything for $600,000, $700,000. But in Redmond downtown, you can buy a one bedroom or studio for $350,000, $450,000. And that doesn't really exist in Sammamish. No. So I think it kind of skews the numbers a little bit.
Yep.
But the same house will be a similar price. I think Sammamish is going to be the leader as far as just pricing in general, though.
Yeah, if you just looked at the statistics, Sammamish is going to be higher. There's no doubt. School districts would be the other big talking point for a lot of people. As we said, the school district does change, splits the plateau in half. Issaquah school districts to the south, Lake Washington school districts to the north, both you can't really go wrong with.
Yep. Killer schools for
Very
sure.
highly rated.
Yeah, so definitely both good. They're both, 2, 3, and 4 rankings. So, pretty good. All good.
Yeah. You're not going to necessarily win one way or the other. Yep. Okay, so that's price points. We touched on school districts. We touched on a little bit on location. We disagreed on nightlife, kind of that attractions. We touched on to some extent as well. What's another big talking point for people coming in to the area in terms of when comparing those two?
Yeah, I think just maybe depending on where you're working, the commute, so the location,
the jobs.
I mean, the job, yeah. So Redmond, there's no real jobs in Sammamish. No actual like big companies there. You can work at the restaurant, or the few of them that are there. But Redmond, however, has actual industries. Microsoft, of course, the main campus is in Redmond, kind of on the border with Bellevue.
Yep.
So there's a very good chance you are working in Redmond. So Redmond would be obviously a little closer. And if you're working in Bellevue, Kirkland, then Redmond's going to be closer, depending on what part of Bellevue.
Sure.
If you're Seattle, maybe it doesn't make quite as big of a difference, depending on where you're going.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in Sammamish, you might be going into Redmond for work at Microsoft, or you're coming, again to Bellevue or Seattle.
Yep.
But you're getting off the hill. You're getting off the plateau for sure.
Yep. I can't think of anything else. No. I'm just thinking about it. So this is personal opinion, which is what we're here to do. But we are biased, so we were raised in Sammamish, but I mean, I think Sammamish is better in a lot of ways. So I would give the cake just to Sammamish in general. I think it's got it's much more of a neighborhood, sidewalks, cul-de-sacs, like that type of neighborhood. It is basically all that throughout all of Sammamish, whereas Redmond, because it has the downtown,
it's got its pockets
and its farms, it's a little bit different. It's also much bigger population. So I think when deciding if someone's looking at both, and let's say that they do work at Microsoft, location's obviously one thing, how close you are to work, but if you're someone who has maybe a family and is looking for more, I guess privacy or a neighborhood with sidewalks, cul-de-sacs, then I think Sammamish would be a better fit.
Smaller community.
Yep.
Even though it's not small, but it's smaller.
Yeah,
you get
definitely
that feel
smaller.
a little bit. Yeah.
Or if you like the downtown, then Redmond's probably the winner for you.
Sure. Yeah, I would say in my younger days, pre-kids, I probably would have chosen Redmond.
Yeah. Interesting. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Both great though. So
yes.
both amazing spots. But yeah, I think that would be, if you're the first video you're watching and you're deciding between these two areas and you're working in these general locations, I would have the decision based on that exact thing. So sidewalks, cul-de-sacs, more neighborhood feel, or do you like being closer to the downtown? Because the schools are both good.
Yep.
They're both similar in a lot of ways. Sammamish is more pricey, probably.
Very similar.
But that's that's how I see them.
I agree.
Cool. Okay.
Cool. Take us out.
If this is your first time seeing a video, then thanks for watching. We have all of our videos in playlists to make sure that you can navigate the YouTube page easily and find out, what the best fit is for you. So if you're interested in Sammamish and Redmond, you might also be wanting to look at Kirkland and Bellevue or Issaquah. They're all in playlists at the top. So check those out, check out the videos, and then as always, we're here ready to serve you guys on your move when the time is right. So do your research, check it out, and then reach out. Contact information is below, and we can help you make a smooth move.